I want to talk about something that I've been going through over the past 2 years. I hope the birds in the back are not too loud. I don't think that they are. But how far back should I go? About 2 years ago, I went through a divorce. And after this divorce, or right before the divorce, or the separation, I started massage school. And I've always been an intuitive my entire life, and I've always been a medium, but I've shut it off through a freeze response, which is incredibly debilitating for me. I have a crazy freeze response. So, anyways, when I went through massage school, I felt that it allowed me to tap into my body and that I healed some of this freeze response. And I tapped into my sexuality, I tapped into my psyche more, I tapped into so many realms. Anyways, when I went into massage school, there's a really weird gift that I was able to explore. So when I touch certain parts of the body, I connect on a very deep level, so much so that if I see you a couple of times, a month goes by, I don't see you, I can hop into your body and see something that's happening to you, almost like it's a memory. But when I see it, I'm not like an outsider, third person. I'm in your body and I can feel what's happening to you as if I was you. And when I massage people on certain parts of the body, when I see past memories or past experiences or even future experiences, that's how I see it. I see it as if I'm looking through your eyes. I can look down and see my feet, but my feet are your feet. And the problem that I encountered with this, that I did not, it's a huge problem, but I didn't care. I just kept doing it, is I would go home and I would get sick a week or 2 weeks, every week, every 2 weeks over the past 2 years. I would go home, I would get sick, I would get very, very hot, almost like a hot flash. I'd get lethargic, and everything that I looked at or every person that I was around, it would feel like they were somebody else. And so the whole point of me telling you this is, after about 2 years of doing all of this and getting sick every 2 or 3 weeks, I started to disassociate all the time. I would go into work. Right before I would go into work, I didn't know why, I would start to disassociate. I would disassociate for 2 or 3 days. It wouldn't just be for a couple of minutes, and that's a huge problem. And I think that it was just highlighting a lot of my freeze response. So I think I opened up a portal to all of these gifts without healing my trauma. And that's the thing, is when you open a portal to very, very deep psyche and you don't heal the trauma that lives in the same space. Deep trauma lives in the same space of the psyche, the visions, the clairvoyance. It lives in the same space. So you can't tap into your psyche without healing your trauma, or else the trauma will come up. And so many people who go through these psychic gifts, they go through bouts of transformation and karma constantly, and they don't think it'll ever stop. But I will tell you that when you finally give up some of the things, like when you finally realize that you're opening these doors to this, this higher dimension, this lower dimension, it's going to open up a space for dirty laundry to air out. And if you don't air out this dirty laundry, you're not going to be able to tap into the psyche I wouldn't say accurately, but effectively. You're not going to be able to heal people. You're not going to be able to help people. You could be pushing a lot of your trauma onto them without even knowing. So at the beginning of this year, it was probably the most intense, this disassociation and me getting sick. There was one moment my partner just moved in, and I had a moment where I tapped in so deeply to a client. I saw everything. And I mean, it's beautiful. There is beauty in connecting at that level. But I had a psychic attack right after this client had left, and I went home, and when I was connecting to my partner, he was like, "You don't even feel like you feel like somebody else." And when I looked at him, I was like, "I don't even feel that you are you." And so it's almost like a possession. It's a deep connection, but I had to do constant cord cutting because of that. But the thing is that this is normal. It's a beautiful gift, but it's not something that you should just throw out and do all the time. And so I've learned through, he's distracting me right now in this video, but I'm all over the place. At the beginning of this year, I told myself I would prioritize my mental health, and if I needed to get on prescription drugs or medication, that I would. I prioritized my physical health, my mental health, working out, everything, because I've put that on the back burner, because I put my gifts on the front line, and I've overworked myself, and I didn't even realize that I was very toxic workaholic, like very toxic. I started to drink wine every night, and although it wasn't a lot and I wasn't getting drunk, I was very reliant on it. And obviously when you're drinking and when you're working nonstop, you don't watch what you're eating. So I prioritized my health at the beginning of this year, but I had not really done anything about it. And my partner moved in at the end of February, and he is a keto guy. And so 2 days ago we started keto, or 3 days ago, and I feel amazing. I feel so good. I'm able to protect myself more from tapping into people. I don't numb myself out, because you don't want to numb yourself and block yourself from being intuitive, because that's really your true essence, and you don't want to live life blindly or purposeless. So I don't feel that way. I feel that I can protect myself more. About a week and a half ago, I was sexually harassed while receiving a massage, and that pulled me away from massage specifically. And although it was very traumatic and it highlighted a freeze response and all the things that I was frozen with my entire life, it brought up, it opened a Pandora's box to all my healing. It also showed me that I was tapping in too deeply through massage, and I needed to honor my own healing before I tapped into this level of psyche during massage. But it also showed me that I need to be very selective with who I open up to and who I massage, and that's okay. I'm not going to massage anyone that's willing to give me $100. I'm not going to massage anyone that just wants a massage or thinks that they see me as their therapist. That's ultimately my decision, because it's not just a regular massage for me. I open everything up. And right now, I'm not able to really control how much of that I open up. And so until I can, I don't just say yes to everybody. I am very, very selective about who I'm massaging right now. And I've realized the level that I tap in when I can see a memory. Right before I stopped massage and this whole thing happened, I could go to your shoulders and see and hear your mom yelling at you when you were 6. And there's this guilt and this shame of forgiveness that you cannot forgive her for, and this burden and this responsibility. I could go to your stomach and see that you roasted chicken last night. I could see you putting chicken in the oven. I can see you eating the chicken. When I go to your legs, I can see your psyche. I can see when you're depressed and when you want to run away from your situation, almost like I'm in your body and I can absorb the depression. And so what's beautiful about this is I understand how to massage you. This is why I can do somatic release, because it's almost like I'm absorbing who you are and feeling you and lifting you. And so although it's beautiful, that is intense, and I can't do those often. And also it's something that I have to develop a level of trust with someone to be able to do it. So I'm going through a lot with understanding the abilities that I have. Should I use them? How do I use them? How do I move forward? It is definitely a part of me, and I won't stop doing that. And it's beautiful, and I haven't shared with the world my true gifts. This is just a little bit that I can tell you. But there's so many other things that I can offer outside of touch. And right now, life is really throwing a curveball at me with massage, like it has been the way that I explore my gifts, tarot as well, hypnotherapy as well. But I'm going through a healing process where I have to discover other parts of myself that can heal these traumas before I can truly dive in and understand how to dive in. So I kind of wanted to catch up and tell you guys a little bit about what I'm going through. It feels like a rant, but if you have any questions, because I'm not sure if this makes sense, if you have any questions about the gifts that I told you that I do have, that I do experience, let me know. A lot of times when I'm massaging people, I get mediumship. That never makes me feel like I'm crossing any boundaries. It's never too heavy. I don't carry that stuff home. And the mediumship is really beautiful. I can just feel when someone's had a loss. And I can even pick that up via online. I don't have to touch you. The thing that's significant about touch is that I see things as if I'm in your body and I'm in your consciousness. I can hear your thoughts. When I don't touch you, the psychic information that I get, it's very clairvoyant, but I see it as if I'm a third party. And so it's such a different, it's so different. So yeah, I'm done with my rant. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I love you all. Thank you for supporting me.